What is up, everyone? My name is Volathis, and we're back on Just Building Minecraft. So last time we just finished working on the royal family living quarters, and we're gonna jump right back into it by doing some tweaks around the castle and hopefully this episode finishing it. After that, I went upstairs to where the sign-in/reception desk was in the royal quarters, and I wanted to hide the redstone. I also wanted to hide the netherrack that was up in the cooking quarters, so I wanted to make sure that no one really saw the light. So real quickly, I filled that in to make sure that no one would really see it. I definitely didn't want that to be obvious. After that, I went outside on the cathedral/castle to work on the crenellations, and unfortunately I discovered in this episode that instead of stone bricks like I usually use, I use stone brick monster egg, because when you search for it, monster egg comes up first and I wasn't paying attention. Definitely later on in this series I plan to use world art, and hopefully I think there's a find and replace or something and maybe replace it, or it'll just be a nasty surprise for anyone who were to accidentally mine these. So I started working on the crenellations using upside down stairs and a combination of the stone brick, and I started on the front side because I knew that would give me it would be the most problematic when mapping this out, and obviously I just kind of make these things up as I go, and I started working on it, and I ultimately went with I was going to stack the 2 stone bricks on top of the upside down stair, and I didn't want to put them in between the glass, or not in between, on the glass formations. I felt like that didn't look right, and went around the castle. For some reason, I guess I must have been a little out of focus, because I finished 3/4 of it and I went on and moved to the castle walls. After that, I went ahead and started working on the castle wall crenellations on one of the walls, and instead of doing the 2 stone bricks on top, I just decided to go with 1. I definitely toyed with the idea of what I wanted. I even took out the wall part of that just to lower it a little bit, and just kept the wall up and only put 1 on top. I felt like that looked a little bit better, and trying in a way to make it look a little bit different but still sort of a similar idea. And then went over to the other wall and started I fixed the oak on that, or actually I put it into place and finished that wall up quickly. And also, mostly the reason why I put in crenellations is the main reason for castle walls is to be defensive while being able to be offensive at the same time. And I definitely wanted to give the guards at least something to hide behind and then quickly shoot out with a bow and arrow. And I also started to work on sort of like arrow slots for the archers down below if they're inside the wall to shoot out through as well. And I started out by spacing every other block and then going back in and filling the blocks in between those, just because I felt like doing just every other block was way too many arrow slots. You don't really need that many. So, and obviously I accomplished that just by putting the stone brick stairs in there, so it basically made just a little sliver for a guard to shoot their arrow through. After that, I went to the top of the towers to start working on getting the tops of them, because I didn't want them to just be little towers at the top, I want actually to be there something. So I started working with upside down stone brick stairs, and then I worked on putting a stone brick slab in between, and then built that up from there to give sort of at least the base for the ground level of the top of the tower. After that, I went ahead making the tops of the towers, because obviously the soldiers who are standing on the top of these towers, they don't want to be standing up there if it's raining on their heads all day, or no one wants to walk up the top of the tower if rain's just pouring in. So I used the nether brick fence for the kind of pillars for this roof, and then I started using dark oak steps to outline the top of it, and using dark oak planks as well to fill it in. Just worked a little bit on what I wanted the shape to be, and after I figured out which I wanted to use, I went ahead with it and simply repeated that to the other towers, obviously, and also later on put in torches down below just to give the guards the extra light they need. After that, I went back to the castle and decided to put in the polished stone in each corner of the castle to make it look at least a little bit better. I felt like it definitely, for the most part, still to me looked like a stone brick square, and I wanted to add that corner just to give it a little bit more difference, and finally fix the crenellations on the one side that I missed previously. After that, I went back to the front of the castle and I wanted to work on the stained glass windows, and picked roughly colors that I hadn't used yet still, just to give the uniqueness around the colors around. And I only wanted to put 2 on each side and dabbled a little bit with that. And that's just about it for the castle section of it. The cathedral's done, and next week we are going to be looking at the outside. I'm going to do a little bit more work on that, and as you can see, or as you've seen on Wolfward's channel, we made a dock for the airship, which that'll be either next week or 2 weeks from now as well. You can see I built an airship in there, and I haven't even caught up to it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm going to eventually put in a bigger airship. That the airship I made was more of a trade ship for a merchant or something like that, but the next one I'm going to make is a battle airship, perhaps either by the city or some military faction. So I'm going to end the episode here, but I'm going to have a clip of where I flied around the city, not the city, around the castle and all that, and just show off again what has happened. And just comments down below if you think there's some improvements I could do on the cathedral, or what you like about the cathedral, or anything like that. Obviously next week we'll be finishing the outside like I said. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. And as always, stay magical, and we will cut over now to the clip of the castle.